Forget about people from your past. They're not in your future for a reason. If the people around you don't inspire you, you're not in a circle, you're in a cage. You can't heal in the same place that made you sick. Be careful who you build your life with. Some people will use you as a foundation but finish building with someone else. Don't stay with bad friends just because you've known them a long time. Never give up. You might be closer to success than you think. You won't achieve much if you only work when you feel like it. Honesty might not get you many friends, but it will get you the right ones. Your future depends on your focus. It's not just about choosing the right path, but also having the strength to walk away from the wrong one. The longer you hold on to what's not for you, the longer you delay what is. Stop trying to be perfect, it stops you from growing. Life is like a road. People will switch lanes on you without warning. Don't sacrifice your potential for who you are now. You'll learn a lot about people when they don't get what they want from you. Stop being so available to people who only show up when it's convenient for them. Your habits shape your future, so choose them carefully. Never apologize for being yourself. Take care of your body. It's the only one you'll ever have. To change your life, change your priorities. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Time decides who you meet. Your heart decides who you want in your life. And your behavior decides who stays. You are the result of what you do every day. Stop trying to change people. Either change yourself, your environment, or both. Don't assume others think like you. Life is about crossing lines, not drawing them. Your pain isn't your fault, but healing is your responsibility. Don't ruin your life trying to make everyone happy. Learn to be happy on your own. Missing someone doesn't mean you need them back. Growth can be painful, but it's necessary. Prepare for the future today. Being true to yourself might feel lonely, but it's worth it. Face your problems. Hiding from them won't make them disappear. Don't let anyone waste your time twice. Time is precious, so spend it wisely. Let go of people who don't respect you. Worry about your character, not your reputation. Be like a tree. Let the dead leaves fall. You can't be happy with someone else if you're not happy with yourself. Don't wait for others to live your life. The people who ask the most from you often give the least. Ask for advice, but know who to ask. You won't realize the value of a moment until it's a memory. If you're not facing problems, you might be on the wrong path. Let go of things that make you feel like you're hanging by a thread. You can't make someone love you by giving them more of what they don't appreciate. Don't make one person the center of your happiness. Learn to make choices that matter. Close doors that lead you nowhere. The greatest gift you can give yourself is freedom from others' opinions. Listen more than you speak. Action brings clarity. Don't just think, do. Life will get tougher if you're not resilient. Don't judge others without knowing their full story. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Real growth comes from correcting yourself, not blaming others. Take responsibility for your life. Going back to your ex is like putting on dirty clothes after a shower. Finish old chapters before starting new ones. Habits shape your future. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. If you don't plan your life, someone else will, and their plan might not be great. Chasing happiness leads to misery until you realize happiness is the journey, not the destination. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't hate jealous people. They're jealous because they think you're better. Stop complaining about things you can change. Forgiving someone silently and walking away is self-care. Don't make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions. Stay away from narcissists. They'll drain you. Accept the present moment and work with it, not against it. You can't make people love you the way you love them. Look back only to see how far you've come. Discipline yourself and keep the promises you make to yourself. Build your life in silence. People won't know where to attack. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. Time shows people's true colors. Recognize where you are and start changing. Growth comes from doing things beyond what you've already mastered. Let others' actions speak for them. Your life's meaning depends on the responsibility you're willing to take. If you don't heal from your pain, you'll hurt others who didn't cause it. People will remember your mistakes, not your good deeds. Don't quit. Sometimes, success comes unexpectedly. You can't change someone who doesn't see their faults. Failure shows you what doesn't work. Stop underestimating yourself and overestimating others. Let pain teach you, but don't let it stay too long. Remove people who look down on you. Commitment starts things, consistency gets you somewhere, and persistence keeps you going. Sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. Take chances. You'll never know what could have been unless you try. Sometimes you suffer not because you're bad, but because you were too good to the wrong person. You learn nothing if you think you're always right. The question isn't who will let you, it's who will stop you. Stop looking back at the bad things. Focus on the great things ahead. Stop asking why they keep doing it and start asking why you keep allowing it. Be careful who you trust. Don't blame a clown for acting like a clown. Ask why you keep going to the circus. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. The fastest way to gain confidence is to do what you're afraid of. Set boundaries. They won't make you lose real friends, just pretenders. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Don't discuss your problems with someone who can't solve them. You're free to choose, but not free from the consequences. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and beautiful at the end. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. If someone says you can't, they're showing their limits, not yours. Take care of your thoughts when you're alone, and your words when you're with others. Without a vision for your future, you'll return to your past. Stop doing things for people who expect them rather than appreciate them. Don't expect the world to be fair. It's like expecting a lion not to eat you because you didn't eat. It improve your argument, not your volume. Change is inevitable, growth is a choice. Don't cling to mistakes just because you spent time making them. Leave when promises turn into apologies. Your best teacher is your last mistake. You'll never be criticized by someone doing more than you, only by those doing less. A repeated mistake is a decision. Sometimes even the right choices fall apart. Pick up the pieces and keep going. Spend time alone. It's important for your mind. Anger is punishing yourself for someone else's mistake. Your reaction to mistakes shows your character. Ability gets you to the top, but character keeps you there. Trust takes time to build, but can be lost in an instant. Fight for what you want or don't cry over what you lose. Set big goals that force you to grow. Be aware of people in your circle who aren't in your corner. Life gives you many chances to get it right. Your progress doesn't need validation from others. Don't just go through life. Grow through it. Walk away not to teach others a lesson, but because you've learned yours. Stop being considerate in situations where you're not considered. There are two ways to do things, right and again. If you're driven by fear or anger, you'll compete. If you're guided by courage and peace, life will serve you. If you keep asking if something is worth it, maybe it's not. Be old enough to recognize mistakes, smart enough to learn from them, and strong enough to correct them. Teach your heart to accept disappointments, even from people you love. Silence is more powerful than proving a point. Someday isn't a real day. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. Once a problem is solved, its simplicity is amazing. You can't control someone's loyalty. You can do so much and still not be treated well. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Learn to be happy alone. Needing others to be happy makes you weak. Don't let emotions, yours or others, control your life. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. If you want to know who controls you, look at who you're not allowed to criticize. The start is what stops most people. Don't change yourself to make someone happy, unless that someone is you. Stop expecting others to respect you more than you respect yourself, whatever. When you keep it, you build trust. People treating you poorly reflects on them, not you. Listen to understand, not to reply. Be the person you needed when you were younger. The answer is always no until you ask. Don't make decisions when you're angry or promises when you're happy. Today is the tomorrow you talked about yesterday. No matter how good you are, you'll be bad in someone's story. You'll never truly know someone unless you can see their thoughts. If you need more, then One hand to count your best friends. You're not a great best friend. People get tired of waiting, lies, and hurt, not of loving. Some talk to you in their free time, others free their time to talk to you. Learn the difference. If you give up easily, your life will lead to nothing. Privacy is power. What people don't know, they can't ruin. Don't dream about what could have been. Invest in what's in front of you. The world owes you nothing. Not everyone will understand your journey. Sometimes the strongest people smile through silent pain and fight battles no one knows about. Maybe your path is harder because your calling is higher. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. People will disappoint you. Don't put all your trust in anyone. Hard work doesn't guarantee success, but laziness guarantees failure. You'll never be truly happy if you seek validation from others. The pursuit of perfection is futile. Aim for progress. Your self-worth is non-negotiable. Be careful what you tolerate. You're teaching people how to treat you. You'll never be 100% sure about a decision, but make it anyway. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. Chasing happiness leads to misery until you realize happiness is the journey. Maybe you're not healing because you're trying to be who you were before. Let the new you be born. There will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. You learn nothing if you think you're always right. No one owes you anything. You have to work for what you want. Life has things we don't want to happen but have to accept. Things we don't want to know but have to learn, and people we can't live without but have to let go. What you want requires consistency and discipline. Your life can change in an instant. Be grateful for what you have. The worst enemies are those who pretend to be friends. Actions are the best interpreters of thoughts. Never decide what you can or can't do based on your lowest points. Only put off until tomorrow what you're willing to die having left undone. The harder your life becomes, the faster you'll reach your goals. Excuses won't fix your problems. Take responsibility for your actions. Be friends with those who expand your thinking, not just your circle. Avoid making decisions when you're angry and promises when you're happy. You'll never understand the damage you did to someone until the same thing happens to you. Be careful who you let into your life. Some will drain you and blame you. Maturity is having the power to destroy someone who wronged you but choosing to walk away. You are the only person you can control. Be humble enough to know you can lose everything but confident enough to know you can get it back. Every time you try, you're making progress. Spend time on self-improvement, not criticizing others. Smart people stop overthinking once they understand that the best decisions require gut feeling, not just intellect. It all begins and ends in your mind. Excuses are easy to make. Finding a way takes courage. Life doesn't wait for you to be okay. Don't let someone treat you poorly just because you love them. Every lie creates future problems. Do the right thing now. If you believe in yourself, you don't need to convince others. Learn to miss someone without wanting them back. If life wasn't hard, you'd never grow. Sometimes, some people can only be in your heart, not your life. The only way to feel better about yourself is to do things worth feeling good about. Sacrificing long-term joy for short-term pleasure leads to regret. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. When you build in silence, no one knows where to attack. Pain only leaves when it teaches you something. Some lessons have to be learned twice. Being calm in a stressful situation is important. Don't let emotions control you. The more you cling to the past, the less bright your future will be. The only failure is not trying. The only rejection is not asking. The only mistake is not risking. If you can't say no, your yes means nothing. People want you to succeed, but not more than they want to succeed themselves. Stop overestimating others and underestimating yourself. When you blame others, you give them power over your problems. Life has a way of working out, even when it seems impossible. Don't sacrifice your potential for who you are now. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. Luck comes to those who work hard. Good things don't come to those who wait. Don't make one person the center of your happiness. If they leave, you're left with nothing. When you feel like giving up, remember why you held on for so long. Never put relationships before your goals. You may lose both. You can fall in love more than once. Don't worry when someone leaves. Most of the time it's for the good. Make practical decisions about what you want from life and what you're willing to give up. If you don't, life will make them for you. Changes happen when we go against what we're used to. Failure shows us what doesn't work. It's normal to feel bad after making the right decision. No matter how nice you are, some people will dislike you. Don't waste time on them. Later often means never. Bad times wake you up to the good things you never noticed. Never try to gain someone's sympathy. Those who care will be there when you need them. You can't make someone love you by giving them more of what they don't appreciate. Most of the time, you have to swallow the pain and grow up on your own. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, but poverty brings challenges. Hiding from problems won't make them disappear. Facing them is the only way to grow. Regrets can linger if you don't learn to forgive. Time spent comparing yourself to others is wasted. People will take advantage of your kindness if you let them. Problems are as bad as you think they are. Your obsession with finding happiness prevents its attainment. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for helping. In your 20s, many relationships will fail. They're just practice until you're married. Your friends and family don't always know what's best for you. The greatest sin is thinking of yourself as weak. Don't let anyone treat you badly just because you love them. Knowing when to mind your own business and when to speak up is a life lesson. Take chances. You'll never know what could have been unless you try. The big secret in life is that there is no big secret. Whatever your goal, you can get there if you're willing to work. Make yourself indispensable, otherwise you'll be unemployed. Never become completely dependent on anyone. Always be able to support yourself. A wise man learns more from his enemies than a fool from his friends. We walk away from our dreams afraid we'll fail, or worse, succeed. You can't expect everyone to be good to you, and you can't be good to everyone. The worst times show the true colors of those who say they care. If you never heal from what hurt you, you'll hurt others who didn't cause it. Never expect too much or put too much trust in anyone. Don't stick with bad friends just because you've known them a long time. Our wounds often lead to the best parts of us. People only want to hear the good, not the bad. Numbing the pain makes it worse when you finally feel it. When a defining moment comes, define it or let it define you. Stay away from narcissists. They'll drain you slowly. Learn to select your thoughts like you select your clothes. Control your mind. It's the only thing you should try to control. No matter what good you do, people will remember your mistakes. Life asks us questions, and our actions are the answers. Say no to perfection. It stops improvement. The regret of putting first those who don't put you first makes life painful. Determine where you're going. Random wandering leads to disappointment. Dreams without goals are just dreams. Let go of what makes you feel like you're hanging by a thread. Bad things don't affect us as profoundly as we expect. Neither do good things. Remove people who look down on you. Even a happy life has darkness. It's what gives happiness meaning. You can't be happy with someone else if you're not happy with yourself. Believe life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. Holding grudges only harms you. The only thing that makes a dream impossible is the fear of failure. You don't realize the value of a moment until it's a memory. Suffering stops when we understand it clearly. Actions, not words, tell the truth about people. Real growth comes from correcting yourself, not blaming others. If you can't understand why someone does something, look at the consequences of their actions. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. Tomorrow never comes. It's always today.